Welcome everyone to episode 5 of DIY fingerboard ramps here at SKATEYOGI with our resident fingerboard guru Simon. Today he's going to be showing us how to make a hip, I believe. Is that right, Simon?
Yeah. So this is called a hip.
Awesome.
This one's kind of mellow, but the whole idea is it's kind of flat on this end, so you should be able to like put it against a wall or something. But there's going to be 2 ramps, right? It's kind of similar to something that we made before, where it's an A-frame, except these ramps kind of meet, right? They form this sort of triangle, and the whole idea is that at like a skate park or something, a lot of people like to do, they go up it, and then they do like a trick, and then they come back down. It's sort of like, it's like kind of like a pyramid. If you've ever seen one of those at a skate park, like LES has like a big one that's like really popular.
Awesome.
And people like doing tricks over the corners. So
that's going to be a great addition to our collection. So before we get in and actually start building this, let's just do a quick material check. You're going to want to have a cereal box or a similar box, a pair of scissors.
Box like this. You guys seem pretty set on that.
Some tape and
tape, ruler,
and a ruler. And if you're watching, afterwards, we've done 4 more before this. We've got a quarter pipe, a A-frame, a fun box with pole jam, and an angled ledge. So afterwards, we edit these videos. We put them up on YouTube. If you're into that, please subscribe because we've been putting up several videos a week. In addition to the DIY fingerboards, we've got skate hacks. We've got a quick tip series. We've got a more long format intro to skateboarding series that we've been doing. Just as much as we can put out there to keep everyone connected and stoked while we're all staying at home. So check that out. Check us out on YouTube there. And I will turn it over to Simon to walk us through this demonstration. All right, Simon, it's all yours.
All right. So you guys have all your material. That's great. So one thing you're gonna also have is like a pen or a drawing utensil. I'm using a Sharpie in this case, just so it's easier to see where I'm marking. But okay, so to get started, once you have your box, right, you want to have it sort of flattened out. And I'm gonna start by cutting, just to make it so I have this one long sort of flat piece of cardboard. I'm just going to start by cutting along one edge, right? Get better scissors. Just a little easier to work with. So now I have this nice sheet. All right, cool. So once you guys have this, right, what we're gonna start by doing is making sort of this part, this triangle, right? And it's gonna be the back of the ramp and also part of the base, right? So we're gonna start to sort of form like the structure of it. And to do that, right, it's gonna look something from like this, from this part of the box, right? And so we're gonna make the triangle here. To do that, there's a couple ways you can do it. If you have a ruler, you can either measure it out, right? Because if I measure this out, this is gonna be about 12 inches. It's like a foot. All our boxes are different, so it might not be the case, but what I wanna do is measure about halfway, right? Try to get as close as you can. And you're gonna mark where halfway through the box is. So if I hold my finger there, it'd be like right around there. If you don't have a ruler, there's another way to find the middle of the box, which would be to draw lines from corner to corner. And so I'll do that first, actually. Right. difficult to see, but if you want to find the middle of this venue, really, you just have to go corner to corner. You can mark the middle, and then you want to mark right above it on the edge, because that's where we're going to be cutting to. Unless you guys measured it out, that's a little more straightforward. But once you guys have that mark in the center of your box, but you want to have it sort of on the top edge, because what we're going to be doing is this is really just setting the height of the sort of the back part of your ramp. So here, doing is I have a bunch of lines here now, but what I'm doing is I drew from this corner up to where I marked the top, right? And I'm basically making this big triangle, right? So from these lower corners of this fold to the top where I just marked, right? If you look at it like this, right, we're gonna cut these out, and that's gonna form the base. Give us a thumbs up. There you go. All right, so Ronan already did it, but the idea is you're gonna cut out now where you marked, so you're basically gonna cut out this triangle here. But I'll show you guys real quick. All right, so that's one flap, and we're just gonna do the other side. So now you should have something like this. Cool. All right, next step. So now what we can do is we can actually cut along here real quick. What we're gonna do here is we're just gonna cut out. We're gonna separate this flap from here. So I'm just gonna cut across real quick. Right, so I just did this just so I separated these two, because we're gonna need this side to sort of cut out this triangle, right? It's gonna go on top. Cool. If you guys want to, you guys can actually cut off these extra flaps too on the side. We don't really need them right now. So your box should have all these like extra flaps for the top sides. You can just cut those off because they'll get in the way. Right now we're kind of just cleaning up what we have so far. So that we'll have these nice sort of rectangles to work with. Right. So I just trim these off and put them aside. All right. So once you guys have this, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out this triangle side, right? That's gonna become the surface of the two ramps. And that's actually one piece. And so to do that, we're gonna take what we just cut out, right? And you're gonna line it up, right? So the length of this box here, this flap, up to where these flaps are really, right? So the length of this should be exactly the length of what you just made, right? So what we're gonna do, and this is kind of an easy way for you to do this if you wanna hold it in place. You can kind of just put this in here, right? Just to hold that in place, but you wanna align them so that, you know, the end of each is lined up what you have. And then we're gonna draw a straight line. Or you don't even need to draw the line. but you want to line up with your ruler where, try to make this as straight as possible, but you want to mark up where the tip of this triangle is, right? You want to mark it up to around here. So here, I'm just going to mark it for you real quick. We're basically just drawing a giant triangle on this rectangle that's sort of based off of what we have already cut out. So if I hold this together, you don't have to do it exactly the way I'm doing it, but I feel like this makes it a little easier. All right. So if I just mark that right there, right, you can take this off, right? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a line from this corner, from these two corners up to here. And we're gonna make just this giant triangle. So I'll draw that out real quick so you guys can see. All right, so you should have something like this now. All right, this is just a flat, by the way, so. If you guys want, make it a little easier now. You guys can actually cut off all these extra flaps that you might have on your box. Actually, you don't even need to do that. Because what you're gonna end up doing, my bad, is you're just gonna cut out this triangle anyway. So that's actually a little bit extra. What we're gonna do, so once you draw the triangle, you're just gonna cut out the triangle, right? So that you have what would be the top of your ramp. So now you should have two pieces, this big triangle and the base that you made. And then, so once you have the triangle, you're going to want to fold it in half, right? The easiest way to do this is just line up the corners, right? You want to try and fold it in half the best you can, because that's basically just going to form the shape of the ramp. So I'm just doing little by little. But now it should look something like that, right? And once you have that, we're just going to try and align it with the base that we made. So you see this, we're just going to place it on top. And the whole idea is that you want this to sort of angle a little bit downwards, right? So you want to try and keep this at a 90-degree angle, more or less. But this one, you want to have it sort of angle down so that these edges touch the base that you just cut out. All right. And so if you have that, and it might be easier to do this if you put it like sort of on top. Right. I'm not taping it. I'm going to tape it actually. So what you would want to do is you want to tape it together, but I'm just going to hold it together for now just so you can see. Like, so that it would look kind of like that once you tape it together. Right. So to tape it together, I think the easiest way for me to do it was you get like a stick, right? Doesn't have to be all the way the length of one side. But what you can do is you can just put half of this on here. Do that, right? And then you can actually just line it up with one of the edges that you've, cut out. But you want to make sure that where it creases, right, this straight line, right, this fold, lines up with the tip of this triangle, right? It's exactly halfway. Well, actually here, so yeah, so place it on top. You want to try and line it up, and then you can just fold it over the tape.
Hey, Simon.
Yep.
I have a question.
What's up?
I think I'm like having a hard time with the back being 90 degrees and for it to fit. Like it seems like I need to tilt it in a little bit.
I have to do that. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfectly 90 degrees. 'Cause I mean,
yeah,
it is a little flimsy. So if it tilts in a little bit, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
maybe it's a different box.
You could make it like this,
Yeah, because I feel like when it's 90, then the tip doesn't hit. Maybe, or does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, so what I would do, I don't know, just try lining up the back, right, of the triangle. Yeah. I already taped it, but try lining the back up more with this edge, the top edge of this triangle. And you can even kind of put it on top too. That helps. Okay. With the angle.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, but here, so finish taping this triangle sort of to here. Run over the other side. All right, and now I should have something kind of like this. Cool. Yeah, there you go. So it's not really, it doesn't matter if this isn't perfectly 90 degrees. Like you can see mine is a little sharper than that. But as long as these edges, right, of the ramp are touching the base, then we'll be good. You might notice there's a little gap at the top or something, depending on how well you taped it. So you can always just tape over that or leave it. I'm gonna tape over mine, just because I want it to be a little more secure. No, it's not perfect. Here you go. You should have something like this now. Cool. Looks good. Nice. Yep. So now this is pretty much getting in the last step here. But once you have this, right, now we're gonna cut out the base. And to do that, we are going to just mark with our pen or whatever, just down the line, right, that this sort of ramp is lying on top of, on the base. So I'm gonna mark it down like that. Right. So basically what I did was I just outlined it. Right, and so once you guys have that, we're just gonna cut along those lines, right? So now I should have something like this, which would be the hip. And you're just going to tape basically the base to the ramp. And you can do that however you want. I'm probably going to do the same thing that I did for the first taping job. Just get a long stick. So I cover a little bit more. And you want to try and align those pretty evenly. Probably do a better job. All right. So once you tape it all together, you should have something like this. And wherever you see like little openings, like on the edge, you can just tape those over. Yeah, and that should be it. Let me see, I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. And if it helps too, if you think this is like raising off the ground a little too much, there's a couple things you can do. I mean, mainly with these cardboard ramps, you might want to have like a little stick of tape to stick it to whatever surface you might be fingerboarding on, just to hold it in place. But you can also just kind of crease these edges down a little bit so they don't fold up. Here we go, Kevin's already playing with his.
Yeah, I thought I had brought my proper fingerboards home, so I'm still stuck with my bottle opener, but I left the fingerboards and I was having a lot of fun yesterday. But this looks awesome.
Yeah, so now you guys should have this sort of hip thing. And I have like a fingerboard as an example, but if you can hold it in place with your hand, or like I said, you can grab a stick of tape, stick it to whatever surface you might be fingerboarding on. But you know, it should be able to go right over here. Right. You can also put it against like a wall. It's not really easy for me to show you here, but if I were to grab like a magazine or something, you don't use a magazine, but I just want to show you, you know, if you put it against a wall, and you might see this at some skate parks too, like at Tribeca Skate Park, for example. They have a hip that's similar to this, except there's a little gap in between, but it's up against the wall. And so what a lot of people might do is they would ride up the hip and they'd ride up the wall and then they'd come back over to the other side. And that's like a really popular thing you might see at a skate park.
I'm going to unmute myself for a second and say, hey, Simon, thanks so much for showing this to us. I had no idea how this was going to be built, so I was like following along with everyone else, and I'm really happy with how it went. As is our tradition, we're gonna take a turn to share our creations one by one, just to show us like kind of what, you know, maybe what yours looked like. I'll start with mine first. So I used this cereal box and got this nice little angle. I didn't quite get the 90 degrees, so I don't know if I'll be able to put it there against the wall, but I already did notice one thing, is that if I change the position like this, now I have like, there's a skate park up in Burlington that has a really steep, almost like a triangle, like steep flat bank that kind of looks like reminds me of that a little bit. And then just a little bit about hips in general. You know, in skate parks, a lot of time it's back and forth. You're doing things, but hips are nice because they change the flow, where you get to do a little bit of an angled trick, but you're actually changing usually it's about a 90 degree. So you see how that, like if you look at it straight down, you can change your course from going, like if you were going this way, you can then take a turn. And it's also really fun, like I said, for like angled tricks, like if you were trying to do like a 180, you can kind of do a 180 without doing the full 180, or the same way you can do a frontside ollie, but then kind of twist a little bit. So it has a really nice feel to it. So I'll definitely be adding this to the growing collection of fingerboard ramps. And now I'd like to see, just kind of raise your hand like this if you'd like to share next, if you're ready to share your ramp next. And you can unmute yourself. What do we got? You guys are too busy playing with it. You want to show yours, Brody? Show us your ramp and then talk about it a little bit.
Hey, thanks guys.
Nice.
That was awesome, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that one looks really good.
Tell them. What do we mean?
A carry-out box.
Cool.
Nice.
And that looks like it must have been like a bigger box. So you got a nice tall, like
yeah, it's a nice like mine. Steep.
Mine was a smaller box.
Mine's a little mellow, yeah.
Yeah, you got a nice steep transition, so you can really like do some cool tricks on that. And then, as I mentioned in the beginning, if you want to add some ramps to that collection, you could check out our YouTube, and we've done a few other ones. I think this would go really well with we were saying like maybe with the fun box, or even the quarter pipe. If that led up to this, it could be really fun. Awesome. Thanks for showing that to us. So
we just talked about going to do another one in a little bit. Sorry to interrupt. So we're
awesome.
yeah.
Nice. If you guys make two and you guys actually, are able to make this pretty straight, then you can connect them and make a pyramid. And that's something else that, you'll see at a skate park. So
that's really right. Cool. Specifically the A-frame, right, Simon?
Or the A-frame too.
Or the fun box. I think either of those, if you do the same, if you have a similar cereal box and you have the same height, it could really link up like a cool, sometimes you see these things at skate parks that are like multi-sided, pyramids, and on one side and the other side it's got like a hip or something. So that's really cool. And then, yeah, guys, if you make anything and it looks cool, definitely send it to us to share. We'd love to see the creations. Let's see, who's next? Ronan, you want to show us your hip? You can unmute yourself too there. Actually, I can.
Looks good.
And what are you going to make, something else?
Yeah, I'm making something right now.
Oh,
what are you making?
I use this piece, and I'm going to like trace this and then make a top, and then tape this together.
Oh, I see. Cool. It's like
Awesome.
Kind of like an A-frame, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
I love that. These videos are just showing you one possibility, and then I love that you can take the idea you learned and then just hack whatever you want. Like we've got some scraps, and yeah, that's a good idea, Ronan. I've got some extra triangles. That looks like maybe I've got a flat bank in the making right there if I wanted to. Awesome. Speaking of things to do with your ramps, let me see. You guys can see my screen.
Ronan?
I was at SKATEYOGI yesterday with a bunch of my ramps, and I put them all on the mini half pipe because we're not really doing much with it right now. And I made a little edit, and then I also I did like each obstacle for a few minutes, and then I just did tricks, and then I just like edited it this morning. So I'm going to change my background and show you that. So this is the live premiere of this, my very first ever fingerboard skate video. So here we go.
Oh, what?
Ronan, you're missing.
With the death lens?
It's cool. It's like 30 seconds.
That's pretty nice.
It'll loop. So that's the quarter pipe. Oh, like the wall ride.
Oh, Ronan, you'll like this.
Nose grind. Look at this. We got the pole jam.
Oh, nice. You figured out the Wally.
Switch blunt. Yeah.
These are all
Backside,
things
this
that we've
side.
made in previous episodes.
And then this was last week's. This one was really fun. It's easy to do tricks on this one. Cool. So that's
Nice.
I'll go back to my normal office.
Yeah, you made look. All
You
the
see
ones.
that?
See, that's the cereal box.
Yeah,
Doing good, Kevin.
I know. You better watch out, Simon. I'm learning some new tricks. They're all slappy tricks, though. If you noticed, I can't.
Oh yeah.
Simon's got some skills on like ollies and kickflips and stuff, and but I like to use these ramps here. What time is it? Oh, cool! Look at that. We're just up with time. I want to thank you all for tuning in on this becoming sunny Sunday morning, getting crafty with us. One more just reminder: we've got these videos up on YouTube for fingerboarding and many others. I think we're uploading one as we speak from last week's, and then we've got all the others, as well as lots of stuff. But we really miss skating with everyone. We hope to be skating with you guys soon. We're really, we're crossing our fingers on summer camp. We still haven't heard. I guess the American Camp Association and CDC is still like working on that. So we'll see, hopefully. But if not, maybe we'll even have some kind of online option. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll turn it over to Simon to say goodbye as well.
All right. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining me.
Oh,
Really
this
fun.
is great. Thanks so much.
Of course,
now we're
glad
on.
you guys are able to make one.
We're all on.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for joining us, guys. It's been a blast. All right, you're all on gallery view, so we can all like give each other high fives and wave. Guys, have a great day. I hope to see you guys again soon. All right.
All right,
care.
take care, everyone.
Bye, Brandon.
Bye.
Thanks.